and today I am back with another video, and this is gonna be probably really long. It's okay because it's worth it, and it kind of has to be long because without these details this whole thing wouldn't make sense. So I am doing a story time. I'm going to tell you guys the story about how me and my friends decided to TP a house, and in the end we were the ones getting pranked back.
I'm semi, I stay automatic. Money add then multiply. I call it math for
Tell you the basic gist. Let me tell you the background. So I was with my friends Katie and Kristen, and I'm gonna be calling Kristen Chris because that is her nickname and I always call her Chris. So this was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was in freshman year, or going into my freshman year since it was summer break, and they were going into their 8th grade year, so last year in middle school. And this story is so long, I literally have notes. Like, it's so long, like front and back. I don't really think we thought about like the outcome. Like, I think we were just like, let's do it. So this whole thing happened in Katie's house in her neighborhood, and her neighborhood, she used to live in like this kind of bad area, but her house was really nice, but it was just a bad area because of the city that we were in. So it was very quiet, and there was a lot of dogs barking, and I think there was a lot of old people. That's it for the background. This whole thing happened in the span of, hey guys, it's me and I'm editing right now. So when I said that this was in the span of 10 p.m. to 12 p.m., it was actually probably 11 p.m. No, it was probably 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. I just looked back through the footage that I had that night, and yeah, you'll see it right now, like the little footage. So just have, when I say the times in this video, just go over your head because I accidentally got that wrong. So yeah, 2 hours, probably like 10 at night to 12 a.m. So let's go ahead and get started with the actual story. So if I look down, that's because I'm looking at these notes. So we were really bored, and I don't know whose idea it was. I forgot because it was so long ago. It was like we literally had no plans, doing nothing. We already hung out in her pool, her jacuzzi, and one of us said, let's go ahead and TP a house. And they had this little phase where it was like they would love doing pranks and they would love messing around with people. One time, this can be another story, but one time they pranked me so hard, like in the middle of the night, and I was like totally fed up with it. But that phase was rough. Me being, the good girl, the angel, I've never TP'd a house. I've never even egged a house. Didn't do any of that at the time. Actually, no, I did egg a house. I've never TP'd a house before. I don't really know how it works. Like, before I was like, I only see that in movies, like people really do that. And they're like, yeah. And then so I was like, okay, let's go TP a house. Like, we have nothing better to do. And it was like 10 p.m. And mind you, the next day I had cheer practice at 7 in the morning. So I really thought this was gonna take 15 minutes. It's fine. We're gonna be good. And it's just gonna be funny. And so we're like walking around her neighborhood. We got toilet paper from her house, like all the toilet paper we can find, I think, or her sister went ahead and bought us some. I really don't know. But it didn't take us long to get like the toilet paper. So we were walking around her neighborhood, and it wasn't that far. It was probably like a block or two away. It wasn't that far at all. I saw this one house, and it had this little like cute willow tree, but it was dark, like pitch black. Like the street lights, they were not like bright at all. They were so dim, and it was like, what the heck? Like, am I really like, what am I doing? Like, this is so sketchy. And so this house was actually really sketchy. So this willow tree, it was so big, and it like drooped down and stuff. So it was like, oh, that's a perfect house. Like, let's go ahead and throw toilet paper on it. And the house itself was tiny, but it looked like it was painted in black because of how dark it was. And we successfully, at the time, just TP'd the house. It was beautiful. I might have a little Snapchat video, and that will be popped up right here. Yeah, the house was like perfect to TP. There were hedges across instead of like fences just surrounding the house. And so after that, we went ahead and went back to Katie's, but halfway there we were like, I think we should go back. Like, let's see what's going on.
You stupid motherfucker! Dang!
And I remember before leaving the house, I think Katie said something like, oh, this is actually a police officer's house. Are you freaking dumb? And I remember seeing this like red dot. It just kept flashing and flashing. And we didn't know if it was a camera or something. We were like, you know what, just brush it off. Like, talking about this makes me have goosebumps because it's like, it was so creepy, and it, like, the red dot like really like freaked me out. And we like wanted to see if there were any results, like if they noticed something, because I think one of us decided to try to throw toilet paper at the door because we couldn't really get in because we were scared. But yeah, and so all of a sudden this like really shady car, it was really old, like probably like freaking, I don't really know. Like, you know, if you play The Sims, I freaking love The Sims. If you play The Sims and you get the standard car, like the, you know, I'll put that right here. It looked like that to me because it was so dark. Like, I don't really know. Like, everything was like fuzzy. Like, it's just dark AF in the neighborhood. So, oh yeah, sorry if there's any like background noise. My AC just went on. That car started slowly coming to us, and we're like stopping. Like, we don't really know like who it is. We're like, why are they going so slow? But we started walking again, and we started just walking normally. They kept going up to us like this was us, okay, and this was the car, and they just kept going, and we were just like going this way. And so we were really freaked out about that because, mind you, like, we were like 13, 14, like, we see this stuff in the scary movies, like, and they just start shouting at us. I don't know, they said like, hey, I know what you did, something like that, like, I know what you did all that, huh? And like, I don't think we like even said anything, and we just started running. Like, that gave it away that we really did do it. And if those people were like the owners of the house, like, oh my gosh, like, we would be in so much trouble. As we're running, there's probably like 4 or 5 people in that car. It's a full car, and they probably just got back from a party because, mind you, it's like 11 p.m. at this time now. And they just start like following us, and we're like taking all these turns into different like streets and like cul-de-sacs and people's yards. We started hiding under their boats and their cars. We were like, oh my gosh, I can't right now. And they started throwing glass at us and raw eggs. They started throwing raw eggs at us and glass, and I mean, it freaking hurt, okay? I literally had like an eggshell and like a little bit of yolk just like sitting right here. As we're hiding, I remember we were in this alleyway in someone's yard. We were just in there, and we were just like waiting it out like a cool 30 minutes, and we were just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. How are we gonna get back home? Like, how far are we, Katie? And so me and Chris were like kind of freaking out, and we like low-key peed ourselves. That was fun. And I was like gonna cry because I was like kind of having an anxiety attack. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. Like, I can't have this right now. Like, I can barely even run. Like, they ran so fast, and I can barely even run. Like, I'm really bad at running. We decided to try to go home, and they caught us again. And this was probably like a 30-minute car chase or whatever. No, not car chase, but like, you know what I mean. Like, they chased us in their car for like 30 minutes. And we just went like to someone's front yard, and we just hid under their car in their boat. And the person, I think they had their high beams on, and they kind of parked in the driveway, and they were like, we know you're out there, or like, let's get them, whatever. And then so Katie, like, her being like her, she freaking got up and she was like, you know what, I did it, I'm so sorry if that's your house, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And me and Kristen, we looked at each other, we were like, are you serious right now? Like, you're freaking crazy. And then so, like, we just see Katie confess, and we're like really lame, me and Chris, we're just like, yeah, let's let her take all the blame. Like, what the hell? And then I think they said like, oh, we're just messing with you, blah blah blah, and they started throwing more stuff at us, like eggs and glass, and we just decided to run home. We were just like done with it. Like, we look back and they're not following us anymore, we can't really hear any cars coming anymore. And so after that, we just decided to walk, because we were like, okay, it's getting late, I'm pretty tired, let's just walk it out, we're almost there. And we ran into this guy. He probably was like 40, 50, I don't know, but he was Katie's neighbor, and he was washing like a cracked egg on his car. He was just washing it off, and we told him what happened. And we were like, yeah, we just got like pranked. We didn't tell him that we TP'd a house. We were just like, yeah, like these kids started throwing eggs at us, and they just started throwing glass. And then he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna call the police right now and tell them about it. And in my mind, I kind of thought, what if he thinks that we did it? Because it's like, what are the odds of like kids in the middle of the night just out and telling him what happened? He probably might have thought we were lying. And so we're almost home, we stop talking to him, we go home, and we are so close to our destination. Like, we are so freaking close. I was so excited, so happy to just sleep and like wash all this like egg off my head. And we hear police sirens just wailing and coming closer to the house. And so we're like 2 houses away from Katie's house, so I'm all like, oh my god, I just gotta run. And so I remember I was the first one to go to her gate, and it was so hard getting it open. I was like, oh my god, like, I can't get this open. And they were like, Camille, just get it open. Like, that's like a little detail that I almost forgot to tell you guys. Or I was the one last trying to close the gate. One of those, yeah. We go into her house, we went through her backyard from the gate, and we go into her house, and we're just like waiting it out. We're just being really quiet, just turning off all the lights, making sure the windows are like covered with the blinds and stuff. And so we're waiting, and I remember I said something, I need to pee, and so I kind of went out, and I think they came with me too, and we just saw like a police officer, like just like the lights shining and stuff. And I mean, this was probably me being really tired, but this is what I remember. I remember like lights were just shining through the window trying to see through. I don't think anyone knocked. It was 12 a.m. at this point. Yeah, we just like brushed it off, like if anyone tries to knock, don't answer. No adults were home. That's great. So after all of that, we changed into our clothes and we knocked the heck out. And the next morning, you just see me like raiding Katie's fridge to eat, because I had cheer practice in like an hour or two. So I'm just like waiting, and then they wake up to me just like eating Katie's food, and we're just like, man, last night was crazy. That is the time that me and my friends decided to pull a prank, and we were the ones getting pranked in the end. I hope you guys like this little story time. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more. Comment down below if you feel like it, whatever, I don't care. Give me video suggestions that I should do, because whatever, I'm kind of running out of ideas. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!